If you've been following the site for a while, you know that the youth intake can be a crapshoot, and what it says in our preview versus what is the reality, they don't always sync up. We are expecting a fantastic youth intake this year. It is time. It is here. We're going to get to that in just a second, but first, we're going to talk about the results of the matches since we were last together. Unfortunately, we witnessed that horrible 4-1 defeat on the road at Flamengo. Things were not very easy for us after that. Unfortunately, this team this year has been consistently inconsistent. We went on the road to Regates. We managed a 1-1 draw, but we took the lead through a 68th minute goal from Leonardo. We only held it for a couple of minutes, however. Ryan able to equalize, but at least we got a point on the road. We could not say the same in the next match against Palmeiras. In fact, we were absolutely dreadful. Nobody played well in this match. The highest rating belonged to Leonel Torqueta with a 6.7. That pretty much tells you all you need to know. Jose Manuel Lopez scored a pair of goals on either side of halftime, and we basically had no choice. The only good thing, the only bright spot is that the newly acquired Caio Henrique didn't make us pay. Juventus was near the bottom of the table when we took them on at Novelli Junior, ending our 3-game road swing, but we just could not put them away. Even though we went down 1-0 by the half, Leonardo's goal was able to equalize, and we were looking really good, especially after Leonel Torqueta scored just 7 minutes into the second frame. But once again, we could not hold on to the lead. It only took 3 minutes before Riquelme equalized, and we ended with a 2-2 draw. On the road to Corinthians, we were not good. We looked good in the very beginning. Leonardo's goal in the 4th minute, he is really starting to come alive in this series. Put us ahead, but they were able to equalize and went ahead by a score of 2-1. Leonel Torqueta tied things up, but they just ran away with it. A pair of goals within 3 minutes in the second half from Marcus Leonardo and Jean Lacumi. They sunk our ship. However, it wasn't all going to be bad all of the time. We did manage a 2-1 victory at home against a tough Botafogo team. We followed that up with another bottom-of-the-table matchup, this time against Vitória. This time, again, we could not hold on to the lead. In fact, we led 2-0 at the hour mark, but Vitória able to come back with a pair of goals from Clayton in the second half in the 63rd and 88th minutes to do us in. And that second goal was a massive defensive mistake. I had asked the team to lower the tempo a little bit, trying to preserve a 2-1 victory. That meant Leo held up the ball in our own end, facing our goal, was surrounded by 3 players, easily dispossessed, and then we just could not do anything to stop them in the box. After that, Grêmio at home. Grêmio, a much better team than us this year. I think the scoreline favored them a little bit. We had some fantastic opportunities. We just couldn't take advantage of them. But then we took to the road and we took on Fluminense, and we finally not only were able to jump out to a lead, but we were able to hang on. Caio Vidal getting a goal in the 82nd minute, the only one for Fluminense, preventing the clean sheet from João Feijão. But even though things aren't going great, we have taken points in 4 of our last 5 matches. But the reason we're all here right now is for the youth intake for the 2033 season. And we got not 1, not 2, not 3, but 8 elite prospects coming through. Now, I'll let you be the judge as to whether these guys are going to be able to fulfill their potential or not, because right now they're okay. Cream of the crop appears to be a 16-year-old left winger named Vanderson. He does have a lot of growing to do, not a ton of strength, and he isn't as fleet of foot as we wish he could be. Don't really love the lack of playing intelligence and the injury proneness as well. He also appears to be inconsistent, but a fairly professional personality is a plus. Honestly, it looks like he could be a serviceable player to add to our midfield stable of Edson, Jose, and Leonardo. He is a pretty decent all-around player. Again, a bit injury-prone. His heading ability isn't fantastic, but we really don't expect that from our midfielders. 9 off the ball isn't great. 5 vision is even worse. Hopefully he can improve in those areas before we absolutely need to press him into service. Ronaldo really lacks the pace that we're looking for in a center back. His jumping reach is just okay. Again, the heading ability of 8, though. Part of our problem is we get a little wayward when we are clearing the ball in the air, and that's something we definitely need to shore up. I don't know if Ronaldo is going to be the guy that's going to be able to do that. Rogerio is only 15, but he does have the makings of a decent striker, does lack that strength. Hopefully that will improve with age. He's also only 5'8". His best position, or role, I should say, is as a target forward, apparently. His finishing is excellent. Good teamwork, but again, he does not have that intelligence. His off the ball, really not very good. He's a defensive liability, but then again, we don't really expect our strikers to provide much in the way of defense, although Arisvaldo Pereira, when he comes back, when he drops back, does a pretty decent job on the defensive end. Rogerio has a lot of growing to do. Aaron Nelson definitely has the pace that we're looking for in a left back / left wing back. Doesn't really have the ability to play on the right now, but a fairly strong right foot. Looks pretty good. Again, all of these guys lacking the strength. Hopefully, as they age, they will be able to bolster things up, because right now, I'm not seeing a lot of what we need now in the guys that we have for the future. I do kind of like the look of 15-year-old winger Alexandre Cheveterese. He's got some of the intangibles that we really like to see in our players. High aggression, high bravery, a good amount of flair. Very determined player. Could use some work on his passing, but his crossing ability appears to be pretty good. He's got a decent amount of pace, although his acceleration isn't really up to par. And once again, he just lacks the strength to play in Serie A. And our final elite prospect is 15-year-old right defensive back Luis Fernando. Now, right now, he seems to be pretty mediocre all around. He doesn't suit the tactic. That just means that he's not really a natural right wing back, although the wing back, if he can play right back as a wing back, why can't he play right wing back as a wing back? I really have never understood that. He's got a decent amount of pace and acceleration. Crossing ability is pretty okay for someone his age. His marking could use a little bit of work, but he's a good tackler, a decent amount of technique. He works decently hard. He just has a temperamental personality, and I don't know if he's going to end up making the club. I feel like this is going to be one of those classes that we're really going to have to wait and see. None of these players are really jumping out at me as someone who could join the first team sooner rather than later. And finally, we did get a goalkeeper in, more of a top prospect than an elite, but I'm undecided if I'm excited about him or not. The eccentricity of 13 kind of gives me a little bit of pause, but his reflexes are okay. His rushing out ability isn't bad. His passing could use some work, but he's a decent kicker. He's okay with one-on-ones. Good aerial reach for the most part, and he stands at 6'3", and he's got a resolute personality. Danielinho could potentially be our heir apparent down the road. We've got a lot of young and raw goalkeepers on the squad. Zhaifao Zhao has gotten very much better. Jonathan has gotten very much not. So I think goalkeeper is probably going to remain a question for us for a pretty long time. But back to the task at hand, we have 10 matches remaining in our regular season, and we've pretty much been able to hold on to our position. In fact, it's gotten a little bit better. Still more losses than wins or draws, but we find ourselves in 12th place right now, in position to make the Copa Sudamericana, which is a competition that I've never participated in any football manager, so I kind of want to make it. It looks like Copa Libertadores is out of our reach. We are currently 12 points behind Bahia, sitting in the last qualification spot for that competition, but right now it's really all about the growth. And wouldn't you know it, Bahia is our competition in today's match. Fajão has been very good. In fact, he's been training spectacularly. I love the development curve that he is on right now. A lot of his attributes are improving, and I think that's a direct result from all of the gameplay that he is getting. He's still only 17 years old, but his polygon is starting to become much like what we want to see in a stereotypical or a prototypical goalkeeper for this side. We're going to have a back four of Velasquez, Ivan Zinho just coming back from an injury. He's passed his fitness test, but we don't want to rush him back. So Uza Silva on the right-hand side with Carlau and Canella. Carlau finally back from injury and back into the starting lineup. You'll notice Beto is there. We recalled him from his loan in Serie B. I wasn't really loving our options at defensive midfield, and he is a good player. He just has not yet been consistent for us. He's made 4 appearances. A 6.75 average rating, while not fantastic, is pretty good in the grand scheme of things for this club. In front of him are going to be Leonardo and Edson Jose. Leonel Torqueta just signing a new 4-year deal. He is out on the right side. We have also changed his in-possession role to a wide forward. That seems to be working for whoever is in that position as we continue to tinker. Manuel Rodriguez missed a couple of matches, but he is also back. 4 goals, 6 assists. His average rating needs a bit of work at a 6.64, but then again, the highest average rating in our starting lineup right now, as I scan quickly, is Velasquez with a 6.82. Of the regulars, it's João Feijão at 6.79, Leonel Torqueta with a 6.8, Edson Jose 6.8. Nobody has really been consistently good on this team, although Arisvaldo Pereira now in double digits. He's got 12 goals on the year. The big question, as always, is which Ituano team is going to show up for today's match? The one that won our last match, or the one that lost the last match in the last episode? Coming into each individual match, I'm going to be honest with you, I really have no idea. Although I do feel we have been playing better against the teams that are ahead of us on the table. As we talked about, Bahia currently in 6th. They are in position to make the Copa Libertadores. We are hanging on to 12th, coming into play today on 36 points. So with 9 matches left, we find ourselves, as we stand right now on the live table, just 8 points behind where we finished last year. I am confident that we will be able to have at least, if nothing else, a better season this year than the one that we enjoyed in the last year. I'm not afraid of being relegated. We're currently 10 points ahead of Fortaleza in that 17th place position. I don't think the teams in between us are going to leapfrog us, or at least not all of them. It would take a lot for us to have a monumentally awful collapse. Leonardo with a free kick, our first highlight of the match, and he's going to miss that one wide. Although I do like what he was trying to do. Tried to pick out that top corner, was just a little bit off. Off of the ensuing goal kick, though, Bahia moving the ball up fairly easily. Juan Pablo gets it back from Quintana, gets around his man. Oh, Sousa Silva, good recovery, but he clears it right into the path of the Bahia players. Borges ahead, Quintana, Juan Pablo with the drive from just outside of the box, and that did not bother João Feijão. I've noticed in the match engine in the last couple of matches, so just in case, a little underneath the hood, I don't instant result any of the matches in between. I play each and every one out so I can see how the tactics are working, how players are doing. It may not show in the final result when we make these decisions as to who is going to play or not, or what we do in an individual match, because I again, so inconsistent. We really can't stay in a good mode. Torqueta over the top finds Rodriguez, that clatters off of the crossbar. Looks like Rodriguez, though, was a bit offside, and he was whistled down. It wouldn't have counted anyway if it went in. 0-0 through the first half, and not a whole heck of a lot going on. However, one thing you may also notice is our possession numbers have crept up. We've tightened up our passing. We've gotten a little bit narrower, which I think is something that we absolutely needed to do. We needed to take a little bit more control in what we were doing. We've been finishing generally well throughout the season for the most part. It's just getting the ball to those finishers has been a tough task. And we've gotten better, but still not perfect. Bahia controlling things here in the first minute of the second half. Out wide, Leonel Torqueta, good defensive play. Sousa Silva finally makes its way forward. Pereira drops it back for Carlau as we look to reset. He's going to dribble for a while before laying it off to Velasquez. Beto back to the near side. Velasquez in for Rodriguez. Souza Silva out wide. Torqueta around the side. Edson Jose takes it deep, cuts it back. Torqueta, his shot is blocked. Beto, his second opportunity, goes in on Matheus Cunha. He just cannot sneak it past the Bahia goalkeeper. We've got 11 shots to their 8. 4 of them on target. XG is pretty even in this match, but a dreaded final third throw-in here in the 51st minute. Perea looking back post, dealt with easily by Canella, and here we go the other way. Leonardo putting it towards the near sideline. Rodriguez is under it, carrying it deep into the box, gets past one man across. Edson Jose, that trailing runner into the box, paying off again. Edson Jose with the goal. Ituano 1, Bahia 0, and a great defensive play on our end led to a beautifully executed counterattack. Manuel Rodriguez, cool as a cucumber, laying it off to Edson Jose, who puts it home on the half volley. And right now, as things stand, we're still in 12th, but we're putting some distance between ourselves and the teams that are hoping to get into these Copa Sudamericana spots. If we can hang on to 12th and you maybe even begin to make that move, Santos, Botafogo are vulnerable. So is Vasco da Gama. Right now, only 1 point separating us and them. In fact, we put together a couple of strings of wins here. We can pop in like 7th or 8th. Good defensive play by Edson Jose. However, the clearance goes right back to Quintana. Barrera's got it back. He will play it to Felipe Andrade, whose pass for Peralta is picked off by Leonardo. Rodriguez on the give and go. Leonardo up that left-hand side, around the edge of the box, circles it back, puts it back post. Torqueta with a shot, but that was read pretty well by Matheus Cunha. 72 minutes in, Osvaldo Pereira is not having the greatest match, so we are going to bring in Luis Roberto, another player that we called back from loan a little bit earlier. He's made 36 appearances for the big clubs. He was down at Medora, but not getting any playing time. So we're like, you know what? We need some additional depth. Why don't you come on back and hang out with the big boys? So far, a pretty good match. We do also have some knackered legs. Just 10 minutes left to go. Leonardo is going to come off and and be replaced by Paulo Alexandre. Beto has had an excellent match. Eric is going to come in his stead. Edson Jose also a bit knackered, but I don't want to make too many wholesale changes right now. And he's got a goal. Let's see if we can get another one, maybe see this out. Things pretty even in this match statistically, but where it counts, we are enjoying the 1-0 lead. Let's see if we can hang on for the final minute and change remaining in this match. Fajal taking his time, playing it forward. Torqueta back for Canella. Souza Silva. Oh, what a terrible pass. Picked off by Fafa. Here comes Rodriguez. His shot on, though, is a bit of a damp squib, and João Fajal able to hang on to that pretty easily. We're gonna kick up the time wasting. We have our goal kicks and our goalie distribution on mixed, but he seems to only send it long. I leave it there simply because I don't want to try to work out of the back, because I think that was what was leading to some of our problems with the old tactic, is just we would get so stuck in our own end that we couldn't get out of our own way, and we would make some wayward passes. We would make some ill-conceived... Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Come on. That goal is on Miles Jacobson. I'm sorry, that is just patently absurd. This is patently absurd. I can't watch that again. All right, we're going to go very attacking because maybe we can get the goal back. I cannot believe this. And now here we are, a final third throw-in in the waning moments. Fafa, Najib, João Fajal. Thank you so very much. We're going to settle for the draw. It should never, ever have even come close to that. I can't. The things I literally was talking about, how we were sloppy at the back, and being sloppy at the back is what led to Bahia scoring in the 91st minute, and we just pissed away 2 points. But glass half full, we have taken points in our last 6 matches. We've got 9 to play, so we're going to wrap up the season in our next episode. Currently, we're holding on to that final Sudamericana spot. Let's see if we can do it. My fingers are crossed. Put good vibes into the universe. I'll see you next time as we wrap up 2033 at Ituano.